Hi, my name is Maniza, and this is the Physics 2211 Lab for Oscillations. So the goal of this lab was to compare the predicted model with the observed model of a mass attached to a spring that will be rocking back and forth, essentially making oscillations. And we will be using tracker as well as a code. And some key topics that will be discussed in today's lab will be Newton's second law, the energy principle, translational kinetic energy, spring and gravity potential energy, and the system of this experiment is the Earth, the spring, and the mass of the object. And for surroundings, it is nothing. So here you can see in tracker, we track the position and time of the object attached to the spring oscillating. And there on the right, we can see the X positions and the Y positions according to the time. And here are all the values. So then in GlowScript, I copied the code, the starter code, and then these here you can see are all of the initial conditions. And then here are the results from everything that was input into GlowScript afterwards, after doing some calculations. So here you can see is the change in energy versus time graph. And you can see here all the different colors of all the different energies that were calculated, like kinetic energy, gravitational potential energy, spring potential energy, and delta E is the total energy. And you can see that it is a straight line at 0. And so here is the X position versus time graph, and this is the Y position versus time graph. So one of the questions was, for your model system, is the energy principle satisfied? Justify your answer by discussing briefly your plots of energy changes. So as you can see back to this graph, here you can see that all of the different lines, the colors, the red, blue, and green, when these are all added together, they equal 0, which is the total energy, delta E, which is shown by the orange line here. So delta E can be calculated by adding up all of these other energy, and so it does satisfy the energy principle because all of those added together equals 0. And then the second question was, using the data you obtained in tracker, make 2 separate estimates of oscillation periods. First, by estimating the period of oscillation from the X position and data in second, and by estimating the period of oscillation from the Y position data. Compare the 2 estimates and discuss. So going back to tracker, so first we looked at the oscillation periods, and you can see it is about almost 2 seconds in between each. So this is one oscillation period, this is another. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so it's about 2-ish seconds in between. And then for the Y position, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so for these, it's a little bit under 2 seconds for each of these. So looking at this, estimating the period of oscillation is important because the difference between the two, the X position and the Y position, it can affect the spring constant K. It can also affect the spring force and as well as the spring potential energy. So this kind of gives an idea of this is also, we can look at the oscillation times. This is a little bit more zoomed in. So you can see this X position is about 2 seconds, and these are about 1.5 to 2-ish seconds apart.